Regular mutual fund versus direct mutual fund versus Nifty index fund. The hidden cost of fees. Imagine three friends, all three invest 20,000 rupees every month for the next 30 years. All earn the same market return. But at retirement, one loses lakhs in fees, another loses crores in fees, and the third keeps most of the wealth. The difference? Not stock selection, not timing, not intelligence, just one small number called the expense ratio. Today, we'll compare HDFC regular mutual fund with HDFC direct mutual fund with HDFC Nifty index fund. The expense ratio of regular mutual fund is 1.53%, direct mutual fund expense ratio is 1%, and HDFC Nifty index fund expense ratio is 0.4%. Expense ratio is the fees that we will be paying. And you will see how a tiny fee can silently eat away your wealth over decades. What is an expense ratio? An expense ratio is the annual fee charged by a mutual fund. It covers fund management, marketing, distribution commissions, administrative expenses. Suppose you invest 1 lakh. If the expense ratio is 1%, then 1000 goes to the expenses every year. You will never receive a bill. The amount is deducted automatically. That's why many investors don't notice it. But over 30 years, that tiny percentage becomes enormous. The power of compounding works both ways. Most people know about compounding. Money grows on money. But few understand this. Fees also compound. Let's assume you do SIP of 20,000 rupees per month for 30 years. We'll assume the market return is 12% and Nifty annual return has been more than 12%, in the range of 12 to 13%. So we'll consider 12% as the market return. So total amount invested in the 30 years, it will be 20,000 into 12 into 30, which will be 72 lakhs. So over a period of 30 years, you will be investing 72 lakhs. And at 12% rate of interest, you will end up with 7.06 crores after 30 years. Now we will see how a small difference in fees creates a massive difference in wealth. If you have invested in HDFC regular fund, you would pay 1.53% as expense ratio and you will end up with 4.26 crores instead of 7.06 crores, and you lose 2.8 crores in expense ratio to the mutual fund. HDFC direct fund, whose expense ratio is 1%, you end up with 5.05 crores and you lose 2 crores to the mutual fund. If you would have invested in HDFC Nifty index fund, whose expense ratio is only 0.4%, you will end up with 5.99 crores and lose 1 crore. That means for regular fund, you would have got 4 crores, direct fund 5 crores, and Nifty index fund 5.99 crores. The difference wasn't stock selection. It was fees quietly stealing crores from compounding. Now let's see what happens. Final wealth comparison. Regular versus direct. Instead of buying direct fund, if you would have bought regular fund, you would have lost 79 lakhs. Regular fund versus index fund. Instead of buying index fund, if you would have bought regular fund, you would have lost 1.73 crores. Direct fund versus index fund. Instead of getting index fund, if you would have bought direct fund, you would have lost 94 lakhs just because of fees. Where does the missing money go? Many investors think, I only paid 1.53%. No, you paid much more because a fee was deducted every year before compounding. The lost money could have generated returns. Those returns could have generated more returns, and so on. This is why fees are dangerous, not because of today's deduction, but because of tomorrow's lost growth. Why regular funds cost more? Regular plans include distributor commission. When you invest through agents, brokers, certain banks, wealth distributors, part of the expense ratio pays commission, and that's why regular plans are costlier. The fund itself is usually identical, same fund manager, same portfolio, same stocks, yet the regular investor pays more. What are direct plans? Direct plans remove the middleman. You invest directly with the fund house. Benefits: lower expense ratio, higher returns, same portfolio, same fund manager, same risk. Over decades, this can mean lakhs or even crores more wealth. Why many investors prefer index fund? Index funds don't try to beat the market. They simply copy an index like the Nifty 50. Benefits are very low cost, no fund manager risk, high transparency, simple strategy. Historically, many actively managed funds struggle to consistently beat the index after fees. That's why low cost investing has become popular worldwide. Even legendary investors like Warren Buffett have repeatedly highlighted the advantages of low cost index investing for most investors. Imagine retiring with option A 4.26 crores and option B 5.99 crores. The difference is 1.73 crores. That extra amount could fund retirement, buy a house, generate passive income, pay for your children's education, create a financial legacy, and all because you paid less in fees. Before investing, always check expense ratio, direct versus regular plan, long term performance, fund objective, consistency. Always make sure that the expense ratio is very less, and always make sure that you are investing in direct fund and not regular fund. Remember, a high fee doesn't guarantee high returns, but a high fee definitely reduces your return. The market is already uncertain. Fees are one thing you can control. A difference of just 1% may look insignificant today, but over 30 years it can cost you more than 1 crore. So before starting your next SIP, ask yourself, am I investing for my future or am I paying unnecessary fees?